Good afternoon, folks. You're watching The Hungry Handgunner. I'm Nick, and today we're going to go over some of the things that, well, gun people are tired of hearing other gun people say. So I'm gonna lead with the caveat that some people are probably gonna get their feelings hurt, but that's okay. So let's start it off. Yeah, just get a 12 gauge. All you need for home defense, 12 gauge. You rack it, they're probably gonna run off. The sound's gonna scare them. Don't say that stupid shit. There's no guarantee, and you're setting somebody up for failure, because if it doesn't scare them off, then they gotta fight, and yeah, they've never gone that far in their head that, hey, maybe the noise alone is not going to work. Don't tell people shit like that. Nobody needs... Stop right there. It's not up to you to decide what somebody else needs. So stop. Whether that's an AR-15, or whether that's the second barrel on a double barrel shotgun, whatever it is, you don't have the right to tell other people what they need. So stop saying that. Seriously. Stop it. I support the Second Amendment, but... Stop. I don't know who didn't teach you this in English and composition or writing class, but when you say but, it negates everything that came before it. So what I'm hearing is, I don't support the Second Amendment at all. And I'm going to give you my exact reasons why I don't. Don't do that. You either support the Second Amendment or you don't. If you want to change it, if you want to add qualifiers and things like that, don't hide behind the Second Amendment, which says shall not be infringed. Say that I support gun ownership for some people, but I am opposed for these things. Because saying that you support the Second Amendment and then following it up with a bunch of Second Amendment related stuff that you don't support, you don't support the Second Amendment. My brother or my dad, they were a cop or they were military, and they know all about guns. No, they don't. So being a cop or being military doesn't automatically make you a gun expert. Doesn't mean you can't be one, but if you are one, it has nothing to do with those two jobs. What it has to do with is that was your passion and you took the time to learn about firearms outside of being law enforcement or military. Even within the realm of firearms usage and proficiency, well, we could argue several different things. Number one, law enforcement, military have nothing to do with civilians being armed and duties that surround civilian self-defense. So there really has no big bearing on gun knowledge or even tactics and proficiency and all that when it comes down to civilian self-defense. So it's not a qualifier. If anything, it's one of those things that's like, tell us that you don't know without telling us that you don't know. Well, weapons mounted lights are stupid because they're going to give away your position. No. All right, so we need to talk about things. I frequently see this being said surrounding things like carrying a pistol-mounted flashlight. It's not going to give away your position because at pistol distances, you have just unleashed a portable version of the sun into that person's retinas. So, and if you doubt me on that, go ahead, take a bright flashlight and shine it in a mirror and see how that feels. Take the light off your gun, hand it to somebody else, go about 15 yards away, have them shine it in your face in a dark or slightly dark room, see how that feels. Do you think that you were going to be able to return fire accurately with that sufficient amount of lumens and candela directed in your direction? I say no. Also, people say, well, on a rifle to give away your position. Again, on this channel, we're talking about things from a civilian self-defense point of view. Every now and then we'll go into shit hit the fan point of view. Shit hit the fan point of view, completely different, but we're not there yet. If I'm using a rifle in a civilian self-defense context, I'm probably not that worried about giving away my position because I'm probably close enough that when I hit that light and activate the portable sun attached to my rifle, they're probably not going to be able to do anything about it. Now, if you want to talk about walking aimlessly through a field using a rifle-mounted light or pistol-mounted light for illumination and there's enemies around you looking for you, well, that's a completely different conversation, and it sounds like a fiction book I'd love to read. You only need a couple rounds. Nobody needs high-capacity magazines. This kind of goes with the nobody needs category, but again, tell us you don't train without telling us you don't train. Tell us that you don't study self-defense without telling us that you don't study self-defense. You might need 1 round, you might need 100 rounds. You don't know that. What we do know is that statistically, most civilian self-defense encounters are resolved within 2 to 3 rounds, within 3 yards, within 3 seconds. So what that tells me is that most self-defense encounters are resolved with 3 rounds or less, 3 yards within 3 seconds. Most. If you want to prepare for most, you want to prepare for the statistical likelihood of things happening or don't happen, carry a fire extinguisher on your belt, leave the gun at home because you statistically won't need it. So it's always good to plan for a bad situation because the entire premise of carrying a gun for self-defense is based on something that statistically is not going to happen. So yeah, and again, don't tell other people what they need. You don't need all that tactical gear. Quit trying to play G.I. Joe and dress up. Well, this one we call the Dakota Meyer Special, so nothing is prohibiting civilians from owning tactical gear. Body armor, night vision, cool rifles, good gear. My gear now is arguably better than the gear I had when I was in the military. More importantly, me being in the military is not a qualifier for being able to have that gear, nor was it ever intended to be. We're supposed to maintain sufficient arms and ammunition to resist any form of tyranny, even home-brewed tyranny. So that kind of elitist bro-vet BS, if you're a vet and you're watching this, cool. I'm one too. Doesn't make you any better than any civilian out here that's putting in the time and effort to run a gun. Matter of fact, I'll take your military training alone or my military training alone and put it against a highly motivated civilian that goes out here and trains, and we'll lose every time. These civilians are putting in their time, effort, and money, and they're learning skills that may one day save themselves or their family or maybe even help fight tyranny. You don't know that. And to discourage that by trying to pretend that you're part of some elite club with a monopoly on tactical gear is bullshit. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Semi-funny, semi-not funny. This is a little collection of my personal favorites that we just compiled here today. If your feelings are hurt, go ahead and tell me in the comments. I probably don't care, but you can feel free to sound off. It'll help me with the algorithm. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it around, and get more pissed off people in the comments. That's always good. Stay safe, keep shooting, and I'll see you next time.